Hello, my name is Sarah, and we are the Fish Group, with guess what? Information on fish! Now this is Justin with what makes a fish a fish.
Before we started all of this, the only thing I thought about fish was that they tasted good. After all this research, I found this out. Fish were the first animals to appear on Earth about 530 million years ago. A long time ago, right? That was even before the dinosaurs were around. Now we're going to tell you a few things that make a fish a fish. One thing that makes a fish is that they have a combination of gills and fins. They also live in the water and have a vertebrate. That is why fish are different from all animals. Hi, it's Justin again. I'm here to tell you about fish habitat. Fish live in lakes, rivers, seas, and oceans all around the world. They live in all kinds of water, from warm springs to cold Arctic seas, but fish cannot live in water that is extremely salty. If the water is too salty, then the fish die off. Just like the Great Salt Lake in Utah. I believe no fish live there because of the salt. One question I had was if fish could live in regular tap water. From the research I did, I found that fish can't live in regular tap water. If they were going to, then they would need a formula to stay alive. That is because fish can't survive in any form of chlorine. Fish can live most anywhere. They can also live with you. Hi, it's Justin again. Now I'm here to tell you about the standout species of fish. Fish have many amazing features from arms and hands to backbones. From the research I did, my site told me that there's a new discovery that proves some fish have hands. Fish have rainbows and stripes to just plain old one-color fish. One question I had about standout species of fish was that if they have any way to defend themselves if something attacks them. Fish have a number of cool protections, including sharp spines and scales. They also have interesting colors and camouflage. For example, the tetrafish. The tetrafish in the ocean looks like a blob of color flying across the ocean floor. That's it with me. Thanks for listening.
Hello, my name is Sarah M.M., and I'll be talking to you today about risks to fish. Terrible, right? My question was, when and how did overfishing begin? First on the agenda, fish poisoning. 90% of the 11 million tropical fish imported to U.S. aquariums each year are caught using sodium cyanide. Sodium cyanide is a poison. Many fish catchers around the Philippines, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia use it to catch fish because its sense of fish makes them easy to catch. Cyanide fishing is illegal, but many fishermen do it anyway. The U.S. can try to put a stop to this by testing imported fish for cyanide and passing a new law calling the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, National Marine Fisheries Service, and U.S. Fish and Wildlife to use the Lacey Act, which means the U.S. can't import animals or plants caught against other countries' laws, and check and certify imported fish. Another example of fish risks is the many dams caught on the Mekong River in Laos and Cambodia. First of all, quoting Peter McIntyre of the University of Wisconsin, "There's never been a dam put in place on a large river that didn't have substantial ecological impact," he said. "That's just a fact." Biologists have said the Zayaburi Dam, one of the dams being built, would block the migratory path of dozens of fish species and put 41 groups at risk of extinction. Fish groups, of course, such as the critically endangered Mekong giant catfish. Yet another risk to fish is an old fishery in South Africa, which has recently been taken over by New Power, where they've set a ton of traps going both back and forth from the spawning grounds, and there are so many, it's really just complicated overfishing. This was Sarah with fish risks. Next up is Charlotte with the fish sixth sense. Yay, have fun! Hi, it's Sarah again, and I'll be talking to you about fish intelligence. Fish intelligence is an interesting topic for one main reason. We think of fish as dumb. We think they just swim, eat, sleep, and they defend themselves a bit too. I thought that too before I studied them. Actually, fish are quite intelligent. My question was, how and when did fish begin to realize there's a faster and better way to do things? Take mosquito fish, for example. They were as good as college students in numbers tests. Scientists trained one mosquito fish to associate geometric shapes on a door as a path to other mosquito fish. But when they did ratios, not so much. Another example of fish intelligence is when someone found a black spot fish off Australia carrying a cockle family, mashing against a rock to crack it open and eat it. Fish usually have a very short-term memory, but the But African cichlids are aggressive, so they have a longer memory to remember old grudges. Some African cichlids were trained to enter a zone in an aquarium to receive food rewards for 3 days in 20-minute periods, then put to rest for 12 days. After 12 days, they were brought back and went to the zone where the food was previously, proving their long memory. This was Sarah with Fish Intelligence. Hope we didn't bore you too much. Thanks for listening.
Hello, my name is Charlotte and I have been learning about fish, in particular the sixth sense, which is also known as the lateral line. How does the lateral line affect fish? The lateral line is somewhat like the sense of touch. It detects movement around the fish in the water by using vibration and movement. The lateral line is literally a line. It goes across the side of a fish. All fish have a lateral line, but some fish's lateral lines are more distinct than others, such as the bluefish. Next is Justin with Fish Habitats. Hi, it's Charlotte again. I have also been wondering about how fish help and affect us. Fish are very nutritious. Fish help our environment and ocean too. For example, the tiger shark improves the health of fish populations, and the tiger shark also prevents the spread of disease. The tiger shark helps maintain healthy seagrass beds by controlling populations of grazing animals. If tiger sharks were to go extinct, it would lead to an imbalance in the food web and uncontrolled populations of turtles and dolphins. We can help fix this by not overfishing and trying to protect fish.
Hi, my name is Sienna. Have you ever wondered what fish eat? I have. I found out there are 3 groups of fish. Those that eat just plants, those that eat just meat, and those that eat plants and meat. For example, a parrotfish just eats plants. Piranhas just eat meat. Minnows eat plants and meat. Another interesting fact is that the shape of their teeth is adapted to what they eat. Those that eat meat have sharp teeth, but those that eat plants have flat teeth to grind their food. And those who eat plants and meat have teeth like humans, flat in the back and sharp in the front. I wonder, do fish ever eat other fish that are bigger than them? Do you know the answer?
Hello, my name is John. I'm listening with you. I am talking about fish adaptations. I wanted to study fish adaptations because I wondered why hammerhead sharks have such a weird head shape. Did you think that fish were boring? Well, I did too until I learned how amazing they are. I found tons of facts, some you probably know. Fish have gills to take oxygen out of the water and fins to swim around and move. They also have scales to protect themselves from sharp coral and dangerous predators. You probably didn't know that sharks and manta rays have scales. All non-cartilage, basically fish that are not sharks or manta rays, have swim bladders to save energy. I learned that the hammerhead shark head shape adaptation is for better vision radius, so it can see its prey easier. I'm done.